Hi, I'm Sifu Rafi Dudarian. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some techniques and drills from the Filipino martial arts. These techniques that we're going to be working on today come right out of our program here that I teach in my academy in Johnston, Rhode Island. So if you have a background in Arnis or Eskrima or Kali, that's great. If you don't worry about it. We're going to be working right at the beginner level and up. We're going to be doing double sticks, so if you've never done that before, you're going to have a lot of fun. We'll begin with the actual stick work, put in some footwork. In the next couple of videos, I'll be changing the drill up a little bit and adding to it to give it more depth and make it more interesting. And I think you're going to have a good time. At this point, I just want to thank Black Belt Magazine for the opportunity to share this stuff with you guys. Very grateful to them. Thank you. Also, at the taping of this video today, we are still under the COVID restrictions. So when I bring my students out in a few minutes, we're all going to be wearing masks. I'm going to speak up as loudly as I can. I'm sure you'll be able to hear me. So enjoy the video. If you like it, say something nice in the comments below. Okay, before I bring out my students and we start demonstrating the actual high-low drill itself, I just want to cover some basics very quickly. How to hold the weapon. I tell people start with one fist up. If you need to move it up or down, a little bit, that's perfectly okay. Some systems of martial arts or Filipino martial arts will actually leave nothing at the bottom. Some will go much higher than a fist up. That's how they roll. That's perfectly fine. For our purposes here, I just tell everybody start with one fist up. The next thing I want to talk about is how to swing the weapon properly. So beginners will make a lot of mistakes. They'll either swing this way or they'll kind of point the tip and kind of do something like that, almost like they're drawing. I like to tell people at the beginning, think of it like you're casting a fishing line. So the butt end or the puño will lead the way, and then right about at the top of the arc, maybe a little bit before that, we start to put the wrist into action, which brings the tip of the weapon forward, and then we complete the strike. So these are rattan sticks. They feel pretty light. They can break bones. There's a lot of speed behind these strikes. When we come out and show you the drill, we're going to be working in long range or largo mano. And the idea in that range of combat is to smash your opponent's weapon-bearing hand, break the bones, causing an impact disarm to make them drop the weapon. So the strike is very important to get it right. So we start here. There goes the butt end of the stick, the puño, and then right there you'll see my tip come into play, and there it is at the tip of the arc, okay? All right, let's get started. As I said earlier, the drill is called high-low, very basic 4-count exercise. We're going to be striking on an inward diagonal and a low diagonal, or you could call it a forehand and a backhand. I just want to emphasize again, doing a complete strike, coming from here, striking and bringing it all the way over, striking low and bringing it back. So you want to strike, bring it all the way over, strike low, and bring the stick back to avoid that very compressed strike, chopping it off at the end. This is my student Jason. He's going to be helping me out today. We're going to start by isolating the stick technique only. Then we'll put in a body mechanic, and then we'll add the footwork. So at the beginning, we're going to face each other with our sticks in the open position. We're going to strike with a high forehand, re-chamber all the way over, and strike with the low backhand and return it. Then we do it on the left side. So as I said, the drill is called high-low. Very simple, Kali 101 exercise. So you can chamber the sticks here, or when you get more comfortable, you can keep them out a little more. But as I said before, the important thing is to make sure you're doing a complete strike and not, as I said again earlier, a very short, kind of a quick little choppy strike just to kind of get out there and reach and meet the stick. Keep in mind, these are all blows designed to break bones, hit the other person's hand for combat. So, inward, backhand, inward, backhand. If you notice, we're just kind of moving the stick. So that's simple enough. The next step would be to put in some hip movement or torso. So here and here. Okay, so we don't want to just strike with our arms. We want to make sure we have the whole body involved in it. Just like if you were throwing a punch in karate or any other art. You don't just punch with the arm, your whole body gets involved. So now we're going to take the drill just up to that next step where we're just using our hips. Once you're comfortable with that, the next step would be to put in some of the Filipino footwork. And all the martial arts I've been exposed to over the years, in my opinion, I think the Filipinos really have the best footwork. It's very complete, it's very rangy, it's a lot of angling and zoning. It really is, it's really awesome. So we're going to work off of what we would call a female triangle. So when we do our first strike, I'm going to step to my 10 o'clock, and he'll do the same on his side. So we step out, high, low, then we replace. High, low. When you're comfortable with that, the next technique you would want to use for your footwork would be the male triangle. So here, a lot of times in class we'll put our sticks on the ground and just work freestyle footwork with the sticks on the ground, just running freestyle patterns or whatever feels right to you. So now, when we do the first strike, I'm going to step back with my left leg. Instead of stepping forward like I did a minute ago, I'm just going to step back. So here we go. High, low, then we come up, high, low. Earlier I mentioned that the goal in long-range fighting, or largo mano, is when he does the strikes, this is actually what we're doing. We're clicking the sticks for safety, obviously. So, but the actual intention is to break the hand. On the low one, the intention is to break the hand, or break the, hit it at the elbow, or to break the arm, or to smash the top of the hand. The idea is to break the bones, and impact disarm. He drops his weapon, and then, of course, in Kali, it never ends there. It would be, here, and then you would come in with all kinds of strikes afterwards as follow-ups. So we've gone torso, we've stepped up on a female triangle, we've stepped back on the male triangle. Now we're going to go advancing and retreating. So now what will happen is, I'm going to step forward and he'll step back. So you can do this with one foot in front, sort of like fencing, or you could actually, if you wanted to, step forward on every strike. We're kind of restricted a bit here because of the camera, so we're just going to go up a couple of steps and come back a couple of steps. So I go forward 2 times, facing forward. Once you're comfortable with that, I suggest you go side to side. So here we're going to kind of go right up against this wall. And we're just going to take a couple of steps to my left, and then a couple of steps to my right. So now we go from here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you get the idea. The next step in the progression would be to move circularly. So now I'm going to stay in the middle, and Jason's going to kind of just step around me with the same pattern. So I'm here, and he's just going to go to his right. And so on. And then of course he would go to his left. It can also be done with both of us circling each other. The next progression is he's going to be on his knee. So he gets on his knee, and now at this point I'm going to circle him. Okay, so he's going to sort of just be in the middle as I move around. So I'm going to go this way. And so on. So, here's a very basic 4-count exercise. I mean, there are some drills and techniques we would teach before that are even more basic, but I thought this is a good place to start. But it's still kind of Kali 100, Kali 101. But if you notice what we did when we put the footwork in, it gets a lot less basic. It can become a very involved drill. You can spend all kinds of time doing this one. Okay, I hope you liked the video. If you did, again, say something nice in the comments below. Thank you again to Black Belt for letting me do this.